Martinez will lead the rush to center. To Kyle Clifford. To Foley. Shoots. Great save. Rebound. They score. Alec Martinez gets the goal. The Los Angeles Kings have won the Stanley Cup.
Sports Podcast from three guys who taught sports together over lunch for over 10 years, probably eating a Fudgy the Whale in that time.
Welcome, everybody, to 3 The Hard Way Sports Podcast. I'm Bryan Galloway here with, from parts unknown, we have Michael Pipersek. How are you, Mike?
I'm doing great, and I'm glad I stayed awake for last night's Knicks game.
And one of Snow White's Seven Dwarfs, we have Sleepy Shanley from Rumson, New Jersey, Alex Shanley. How are you, Alex?
I went to bed.
I can't believe you
8 minutes and 20 seconds left.
The greatest
in the
Knick
quarter.
victory since 1970.
No. I went to the game, game 3 against the Sixers. That game was incredible.
Okay. Wow.
2 years ago. The DiVincenzo.
Yeah, that was a great game. Great game.
But I went to bed. I suffered. I was back and forth between the Yankees
pissed.
and the Knicks.
Yeah,
the Yankees won.
I used to get pissed. Yeah.
I went back to the Knicks. I was watching the Knicks. They were down 21 with 8:20 left. I turned it off.
Oh yeah, when the Warriors used to play bad, I used to switch channels, but I would always watch on my phone to check the score. And I'm looking. When should I turn back? It was interesting because I was actually doing work, and I had the game on and was watching, and then I would go back to my computer, look up, and then I'm like, wait, they're making a run here. I got to stop this. Let me watch this. And it was unreal. So, okay, so just to premise this for the fans. So the Knicks had an amazing comeback last night. The Cavaliers came in. Actually, the game started out, the Knicks were pretty much rolling for a little bit. But again, they showed some rust, I think. And the Cavaliers were, just off a big, they had a lot of momentum. So the Cavaliers ended up leading at halftime and leading by 22 in the third quarter, right? I'm making it really quick. I'm making a quick synopsis here, but they were ahead by 22, and the Knicks came back and tied it. The Cavaliers did have a chance to win the game right before, and the ball actually went like halfway through the hoop. They had a chance to win, but then they went to overtime, and the Knicks killed them. Unreal. I think everybody gave up on them, and I think a lot of fans did, like Alex. So Alex, again, you truly went to sleep?
I did, and
When did you find out? When did you find out?
I knew the Knicks were going to win.
When did you find out that they? When did
because Danhausen cursed the Cleveland Cavaliers, so I knew the Knicks were going to win, even though they're down 21. No, this morning I got up and I checked my phone, and to my surprise, the Knicks had won, which was pleasantly surprised. So I obviously watched the highlights in 44 seconds. You guys probably waited an hour to watch the whole game. I watched it in 44 seconds, and it was great. Brunson obviously did Brunson stuff. Harden did Harden stuff. I don't know what Mobley was doing shooting all those three-pointers, but I hope they keep doing it, and the Knicks keep rolling. 8 in a row.
Yeah, it's funny. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's my observation, and I definitely want to hear Mike. It looks like Spider didn't do anything in the fourth quarter. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, it was an interesting game because it seemed like when the Cavaliers built that 22-point lead, they did a great job of moving the ball, and they just had the Knicks on their heels scrambling around, and they were getting a lot of open shots, and Evan Mobley was making some of those open shots, but the Knicks started going on this little run, a couple buckets. They got it down to 17. And you're like, 17 in today's NBA is almost a reasonably achievable comeback. all of a sudden the Cavaliers just start standing around. And I don't know if it was fatigue or complacency. And Donovan Mitchell just stopped shooting. And at one point, Tim Legler, I think was the announcer, made a comment about Donovan Mitchell just kind of standing around. And to me, he's the guy that should have had the ball in his hands. James Harden was handling the ball, not shooting the ball well, threw up an air ball, threw up a couple of bricks. And then I think the Knicks just said, wait a minute, this guy cannot guard Jalen Brunson. So about 30 feet from the basket, literally every time down the court, Mikal Bridges would come by and set a really soft screen on James Harden, and Harden would end up switching on to Jalen Brunson because they had Dean Wade on Jalen Brunson, which I don't know if that was a great matchup anyway, but Dean Wade's much younger, a little bit longer. But every time it was as if the Cavs were just resigned to switching the screen, having Harden on Brunson, and it was such a mismatch. I mean, this was the microcosm of Bryan's comment about how James Harden can't guard anyone because Brunson kept going by him like a statue. And for the life of me, I couldn't understand, A, why Kenny Atkinson didn't call a timeout during this run, and B, why he wouldn't have pulled Harden out of the game and put Dennis Schroeder in the game. Because Schroeder didn't shoot the ball well, but played with a ton more energy. And Harden wasn't scoring the basketball at all. It was comical to watch. I'm watching the game with my 17-year-old, and we're both laughing at how bad Brunson is making James Harden look. And then on the other side, they'd come down, and the only guy that was open, Alex, was Evan Mobley. He was always on like that right extended elbow. Donovan Mitchell looked like he was hiding out in the corner. He looked like he got a little dinged up, like his ankle was bothering him or something. But everything was Evan Mobley jumpers or James Harden jumpers. And then to Bryan's point, Sam Merrill was on the bench a long time. He comes in and rims out what would have been a winner, like right before the buzzer.
He played really well.
Really well. Max Strus was on the bench during the run as well.
Yeah,
I mean, and Max Strus to me,
but he made some bad.
Oh, he had that bad play where he got stripped. I think it was in overtime, right?
Yeah.
He was dribbling down court, absent-mindedly he looked. But yeah, it was almost shocking to me to watch this game and see how easily Jalen Brunson was going past James Harden. There was no double team coming. Nobody was. It was as if they just left James Harden on an island. And then the second thing is how Kenny Atkinson didn't realize, I got to get this guy out of here. He's not helping me offensively.
And he should know because he used to be assistant coach on the Warriors when Kerr would do that all the time with Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson would rip him like up every time. Atkinson had to know that.
Mike Brown had a really interesting quote when they were asking him about the game. He talked about how he thought that maybe the Cavaliers guards in particular would wear down as the game went on because they just came off this emotional 7-game series 2 nights ago in Detroit, and now they're in New York in that cauldron where the crowd is energized. The Knicks have been resting all this time. And he was talking about when he was an assistant with the Warriors, Bryan, and he talked about how James Harden would dribble the ball 1,000 times in a game.
Dribble.
And I think I don't recall if the comparable player was Steph Curry, but he dribbles 300 times in a game. It might have been Kevin Durant, but he said 1,000 dribbles to 300. So he said, I think his legs might get tired. He said, maybe they won't. He said, but psychologically, I thought that would influence my players' behavior and activity. And it clearly did with Jalen Brunson because he was just going by Harden as if he wasn't even there. It was.
Well, they picked him up full court too. They picked Harden up full court to make him dribble even more.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Brian Scalabrine, who was I love in his morning talk show. He talks about it. He always goes dribble. That's all he does. Harden dribble.
He goes nowhere with it.
Everybody knows this, and the thing, Atkinson and Brown were on the bench at the same time under Kerr, so they know each other really well too. It's amazing. That's the cool thing about this series. It's going to be a chess match. These guys know each other really well, so I just feel the Cavaliers. I look at their lineup. It's not a very strong lineup. They got some good players, but they don't have a deep bench. But I just don't understand. Spider was non-existent in that fourth quarter. I kept on thinking, maybe he fouled out. And I kept on looking on my stats. Nope, he didn't. He didn't foul out. What is he doing? He didn't even want the ball, and it was almost like he should. When they started giving up so many points, he should take. That's him. That should be him. It
I
was
agree.
Harden. It was Harden and Mobley and Merrill, and it was no Spider. What was he doing? And I'm really pissed. And I will tell you this because I had I had a parlay of Brunson and Spider each scoring over 30, and he only got 29, so I lost that.
He missed his
I was
last
so
five
pissed off.
shots,
Yeah, I
Brian.
know.
Yeah.
But he should. I don't care. You're the star. You want the ball. I don't care who you are. You
Yeah,
want the
he,
ball.
he deferred to Harden, and I feel like Kenny Atkinson deferred to Harden because Brian, you saw this game, right? So you saw how bad Brunson made James Harden
Oh,
look.
he embarrassed him.
Exactly. Now, can you think if there was any player that is not considered a quote star, and I'm just bundling James Harden into star because he's a big name. If any other NBA player, non-star, was getting beaten that handily defensively, do you think that guy would be on the floor still?
No,
No
he wouldn't
way.
be.
So that's what I
Second,
don't get.
or though you can structure your defense to handle that. Like if you have the right kind of mindset, you could do things to shift your defense, maybe play some zone, things like that to help him out. They weren't doing that. No, they left him on that island. They
Yes,
left him to
100%.
die on that island. No one else. Now I can tell you, when Curry was younger, that used to happen, right? Then he got stronger and he became part of the team. But Kerr made the defense, or it wasn't even Kerr. Who was their defensive guy? They made the defense more. It was almost like a help defense, so that he didn't get stuck on that island. And that's exactly what. If you watched, there were times where the other guys just sat there and they did nothing, and Harden was getting destroyed. No one helped him. It was amazing. It was almost like watching the WNBA the way they played defense. It was
It's like
terrible.
everybody was in on a joke on James Harden.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think the series is over?
No, you can't say that, but it definitely took a bad turn for Cleveland.
Damaging. Yeah, that's a damaging loss. I mean, I think if they
But
lose
The
22,
Knicks have to come back strong. The Knicks win this next game. They pretty much have. I can't see the mindset of Cleveland having to do this. Cleveland could come back and win this game, guys. They for 3 quarters they played really well, but I still think the Knicks found themselves. The Knicks figured out what to do.
But do you think Cleveland's just tired?
they were
I
definitely
did think that. I did think that, Mike. Yeah,
yeah.
I did. Yeah, I did think that for a while, but
Because you got the energy, you got the adrenaline going, you're in the game. I know the Knicks were up in the second quarter, and then they kind of handed it back to them right before the half. I watched that, and then I just felt like they came out with a lot of energy, and all of a sudden it was just gone. So it's just game. Because they played 2 nights ago, and they're playing again, and now they're going to have to play again tomorrow night, and I just wonder if the Knicks just blow them out tomorrow, if that's going to be it. I mean, they don't need a third. They need a third and fourth scorer. I think Cleveland in order to win. They need Evan Mobley to get 20 a game, and then whether it's Strus or Merrill or Schroeder, one of those guys needs to score a lot because
Jared Allen played. He had a double.
He's great.
He's good.
He does his job right. He does his job right. He's not the guy who's going to score you 24 points.
No, and that's why I'm saying I think they need two guys because Harden or Mitchell is not going to do it every night. They're not both going to do it on the same night. You know what I mean? So they'll get some points, whether it's 15, but both of them aren't going to go for 30.
And again, both of them are terrible defensive players. That's another thing, guys, is that hardly ever do you see a team that goes this far into playoffs where both guards are bad defenders.
Yeah.
Again, I'll go back to the Warriors. When he was young, Klay Thompson was a lockdown defender, but now Curry was not. But they found ways to compensate. I'm looking at this now and I'm saying, how do they compensate? Because let's say Mobley or Allen comes and tries to help out Harden. Well, then guess what? The Knicks are going to start doing the same thing to Spider because he's not a good defender either.
Yeah, but
That's interesting.
and the Knicks can play multiple ways, right? Like if you start to double Brunson, they're going to start to move the ball to
Of
Cat.
course
They're
they
going to
will.
move
Of
to
course they
OG,
will.
and that's what's made them so good this year is these multiple faces to their offense, right? But it was like last night, Brunson was just like, "Hey, this is what they're giving me.
I'm going to
I'm
take
going
it.
to take it until
You're
they
not here.
stop it."
You're giving me exactly what I want. I'll
Yeah,
take it. And
right.
it's funny. Cat had a quiet double double, like, and he was. I saw Cat battling more than I've ever seen him. Like I was surprised. I was all impressed with him. Like near the end of the game, the fourth quarter, he was battling. He doesn't normally do that, and I was really impressed to see that. That means he wants to win. That to me, that he actually went higher in my ranking because I saw him. He wasn't scoring like he likes to, but he was battling, and I hadn't seen that from him in years, and I'm really happy to see that. OG was amazing too. He didn't score a lot of points, but he's another lockdown defender, man. He's
Yeah,
good.
OG, Towns, and Hart all had 13
Yeah,
points.
Hey,
Mikal Bridges at 18.
you got to call out Landry Shamet.
Landry
Yeah,
Shamet,
Give him
3 big
9 points
threes.
off the bench in 17 minutes. He hit a
yeah.
big three late in that game, so he did a nice job, which was nice because McBride didn't play well, didn't shoot the ball well. He only took one shot in 17 minutes, but Shamet was good. And look, Jose Alvarado only played 7 minutes, but he gave you 4 points. But yeah, I think the other thing I was looking at it is as I was watching Harden get cooked, is he turned the ball over a bunch of times too. He turned the
Yeah.
ball over. He had more turnovers than field goals made. Schroeder didn't shoot the ball well. I mean, he squeezed off, I think, like 9 shots in 18 minutes, made one, but he didn't turn the ball over at all. He had 5 assists, no turnovers. And so I was just stunned. It was as if the Cavaliers didn't want to win that game because when they got tired, like Alex said, I think they were tired in that fourth quarter, and that's probably where their offense got stagnant, got a little complacent with a 22-point lead. And the next
And
thing you know,
Harden was flopping too, Mike.
yeah,
Harden was like he was doing his stupid flops and his stupid kickouts when he shoots and trying to like draw fouls. I think the refs are sick of that stuff too. They weren't calling it, and I just that's the stuff I always hated about him is like he does the weirdest moves to try to get calls. And again, back in the day, they did that stuff. They let it go. They don't do that anymore, and he was still trying it, and I think
And
that hurt his team.
and Cat never gets calls. Like he goes to the
never.
basket and gets hammered. He's literally laying on the ground, and the there's no calls, and he always complains, which I think that's
He
part of the
does, yeah.
problem.
That doesn't help his case.
No,
I agree with
no.
you because he was there. There were a couple of times where I saw him score a bucket and there was not enough for a foul, and he was incredulous still. And I said, "Well,
Yeah,
you're complaining all the time. You're
yeah.
like the
Then you're
boy
not going
cried
to
wolf."
get. Yeah. But like 2 or 3 times in the first half, he was literally knocked down under the basket, and they're going the other way, and the refs, he's laying there. But
How did this team beat Detroit? How did Cleveland beat Detroit? I'm
Well,
just
the
shocked.
Detroit's another team that young team. I mean, Cade Cunningham got really no support.
Yeah,
Tobias Harris was not good in that series, and Jalen Duren, who was terrific all season, he was terrible the entire playoffs
it was horrible.
for
Yeah.
that.
he played well in the last game, last 2 games. I think I watched the last 2 games of the Cleveland Detroit series, and he played like he came out of his shell a little bit and played a little bit better. But you're right; it was all Cade. And they just came up with a defensive plan to stop him, and that was it. That's how they won it.
And I think their goal, though, in reading about when the Pistons lost that series, it sounded like the expectations for the team were pretty limited coming into this season. So they overachieved as much as you say, hey, a 1 seed losing in 7 on their home floor, losing game. I think they lost game 5 as well, right? Losing
Yeah.
the
Last 3 games were won by the away teams.
Yeah, so they lost the last 2 home games. To get knocked out of the playoffs. They were the 1 seed. That all sounds disappointing on paper, but this team, you have to remember, like 2 seasons ago, had set an NBA record for futility. So
Yeah.
for them to even get this far, I think is an accomplishment. But I think that series exposed them that who's their number 2 guy. I don't think Jalen Duren's your number 2 guy because he's more of like a finisher around the rim, and he'll get you like some garbage baskets. He's sometimes comparably compared to like a Ben Wallace. I don't think he's as good as Ben Wallace, but they need a second guy. It's not Tobias Harris. I mean, he had a really good first round series, but yeah, he's not the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They need
I'm
another
shocked.
piece, at least
I'm
another
Agreed.
shocked.
piece.
Well, so does Cleveland. And you think about this, Cleveland. I think what we found out is like, does Cleveland have anybody hurt? Why, their starting five to me is just so questionable. I just don't know. Like, that's not a really good. I can't believe that they're this far in the playoffs with that team. I'm just shocked. I don't know.
There's two solid guards, a solid center. Mobley's very athletic.
Great
Dean
defender.
Wade's your D and three guy. But I agree,
Yeah,
Brian. They've gone a long way, but the East wasn't that great
yeah,
to,
that's
to
true.
begin with, right? So, um,
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, here's Mike. If I were like the Celtics, just got a bad draw because if they would have slaughtered the Mavericks. I mean the Cavaliers. So I don't know. It's very again I for the Knicks. I'm loving this. This is great. It's good for the city. It's good. I really enjoy seeing these guys do well because they really care and they want to do the right thing. And I love to see all the old Knicks in the sideline, all being part of it. And this is great. This is great for the city. I hope that I hope they can do it. But it's fun. This is fun. I need some. Yeah, it's a fun watch. They're a fun team to watch. I am really enjoying this. This is good. So
Yeah, I think the coolest thing is what you just said, Brian. All the former Knicks there. To me, that's really cool because it's not like those are guys that won a championship and they are
yeah,
returning as conquering heroes. They're just guys that are New York through and through, and they're all sitting together. No other team does that I can think of. There's not the
the
Celtics don't
Lakers.
have a
I think
bunch
the
of guys
Lakers. I
sitting
think the
together.
Lakers do. The Lakers. You see Laker guys there, but
Together?
not the big guys. But a lot of the Laker middle tier guys. No, you're right. But you got Patrick Ewing. You got John Starks. You got Melo. You got
Stephon Marbury.
Marbury was there.
yeah. Who I heard on a podcast the other day, him talking about his what he did in China and all that stuff, and how he had to like change his life around, and how he hit rock bottom, and like he's a different. I had a different perspective. I hated him when he was playing, but after hearing this podcast and like how he's changed his life and what he did and how going to China changed his everything because he said everything I had was gone, and he said I really had no alternative, and I went to China and like I had a rebirth, and I just understood life better, and when he got asked to come back to the NBA and he decided to stay there because he really enjoyed it. Obviously, he was making a ton of money too, but um, I did not realize how he was as eloquent as he is. First of all, and how much of a Knick fan he was growing up. He was like
Coney Island kid, right?
Yeah, he was from New
big
York.
Knick fan. So he's another guy, man. It's just I had a different perspective of him than I had previously by listening to him talk, which I don't remember. I always thought he was like a dope, and really and truly, he's a really good guy. He seems like a really nice guy. I guess he went through a lot. He was talking about the Starbury sneakers and all that kind of stuff. He was very open about his failures in life and how he's come back and changed things around, and that's pretty cool. I like that about him. But yeah, again, Allen Houston's always there, right? Allen Houston, Larry Johnson, but
Yep.
how about but not
Spike Lee.
Oakley?
He played for the Knicks, didn't he, in the 50s?
Who?
Spike Lee.
No, but Walt Frazier's there. Walt Frazier's
Oh,
there.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, he's always there.
Was Oakley there?
Bill Bradley was there. Bill Bradley was there the other night too. Yeah. So there are some of the old champions there. Earl Monroe comes sometimes, right? So it's amazing the amount of ex people. It's like the Yankees old timer day. There's a lot of them there, and I like that. What cracks me up is though Mello comes and talks about this, and he's on like one of the sports shows talking about, oh yeah, in the playoffs you got to do this, dude. You barely went one round in the playoffs. Like I don't even know how. It just bothers me when some of these guys who they critique other players, but they did nothing in their career as far as playoff goes. But
Yeah, and Steph Marbury calling out defensive,
yeah,
coverage last night. It's like,
What?
dude,
you
yeah.
never play defense in your life.
But
But
yeah,
yeah,
it's great. It's great for the town, like you said, Brian. It's great for the city.
It was a lot of fun
it's
watching
a
them
city
last
of
night.
stars.
I just kept on thinking, no way is he made it.
Yeah.
Then Shamet has the ball, and I'm like, oh, he's taking a three. Oh no, in. I'm like, oh, hey, wait, they're only three down now. Oh my goodness, and they got close, but then Mobley came back and took a stupid three, but he made it.
You made one, yeah.
Right, he made that. It was a bad shot too. And then I said, oh man, they're going to win. And then when that last shot was it Merrill that took that shot?
Yeah, Merrill, yeah.
Did you see the picture? The ball was like, I don't know, almost like 45% in the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. Wow.
Well, Mike Breen started the bang, and then he had to stop.
He went, but
He said, "Bang! Oh, it's out! It's out!" They interviewed him today about that. He said he had done it before, actually, a couple other times.
he's got to be. He's got to be on point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just this was awesome. It's awesome for the city. Now let's turn our location down to the Western Conference. What did you think about that game the other night?
Yeah, this is what the NBA should be, right?
Yes.
In the regular season, right? The stars playing every
Yeah.
night, the stars being stars. It shouldn't be this exhibition of, okay, let's just walk through this until we get to the playoffs. And that game, OKC and San Antonio, was amazing. You know, Victor Wembanyama, he's just an amazing player. And you could see at the very beginning of that game, I said, oh, Oklahoma City's in for it, because he was locked in. You could see him like meditating and breathing and really getting himself locked into the game. And, you know, just what a great game, you know, back and forth, just like the Knicks game was. So it was a great watch. Both of those games, both game ones, incredible watches.
Yeah, it's like, and it was on fire. It was yeah, exactly what you said it perfectly. I couldn't even top that. You said this is exactly what the NBA should be.
Yeah.
This is why we love basketball. All
Right.
three of us. We love basketball from what we just saw. We don't love it for the other crap that we see all the time. We love it for this kind of stuff. And yeah, when Wemby hit that logo three,
Yeah.
first of all, I was like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
He made it, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe when
He's
you're
an
that
amazing
tall,
player.
maybe when you're that tall, you're like looking down on the
Looking down at the basket.
yeah, so it's probably not. It's not the same as anybody else taking it. It's just amazing. And the rest of the Spurs, they're busting their butt. They want to win. It's cool. And now again, you know what's funny is OKC. They're used to winning these games, so I think they were a little shocked. I'm really curious how they're going to come out in the next game. What's your thoughts?
I mean, the Spurs controlled them during the season. I think they took 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 5 from the Thunder, and the Thunder had Jalen Williams back. I think it's like you guys both said. Wemby just was locked in from the jump, and I think what's forgotten, because to me that's one of the best playoff performances I've ever seen. Like, he just did everything. He had 9 offensive rebounds, was 41 points, 24 rebounds, made 12 out of 13 free throws. He hit that logo three, and then he took over the second overtime. And you're just like, whoa, what a performance by Wemby. And then you reflect back on it, you're like, Dylan Harper had a great game. Like,
Yes.
fantastic game. First playoff start, and this guy had 24 and 11 rebounds and 7 steals, a terrific performance. And Stephon Castle does what he always does. He's always solid in my mind. But you're thinking, okay, they won this game on the road. Wemby had this, all-time great playoff game. And then you're like, oh, yeah, De'Aaron Fox didn't even play.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I don't know if he's going to play tonight or not, but if he does play, I'm like, the Spurs are that much better. SGA has not shot the ball really well from the floor in these playoffs. I mean, against the Lakers, they kind of controlled him, and he shot a really poor percentage. And in game one, he didn't shoot the ball well. Jalen Williams was probably their best player. So, I mean, I know SGA loves getting to the free throw line, and maybe.
But he's a flopper too. I've lost a lot of luster for him. I used to like SGA, but he's a flop. He's like the new LaFlop. He is. It's almost embarrassing how much he flops. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. You keep an eye on that. Watch him. It's almost like he's doing this on purpose all the time. That's not basketball. I don't want to see that. Go in there and challenge them.
He gets a lot of fouls, yeah.
He does, yeah. And
flops.
away fans have been kind of heckling him a bit. I think they chant "free throw merchant" on road games, so it's kind of a known thing. So I kind of want. I mean, he got to the line 9 times the other night, so I'm sure Mitch Johnson is going to be working the refs. But I'm curious to see if the referees kind of react to that. Maybe not tonight because the game is in OKC, but I'm curious what happens when you shift to San Antonio, because there's a different whistle when a team is at home or away. So I'm curious to see what happens in game 3 in San Antonio with SGA and the whistle he gets.
You're Adam Silver right now, and you're watching the last 2 games, right? and probably looking at the ratings and looking to see, even though in New York they probably had a big drop off, and then they came back. But they're looking at this. He's looking at this and saying, "This is what I want to have happen." And he's like, "Let's stop the flopping." I always feel, and again, they'll never admit it, but I have a feeling that they call the refs and they say, "Hey, you really, you better referee tight tonight, or watch the flopping." I guarantee they do that kind of stuff. Maybe they don't say, "Hey, we definitely want New York to win because it's a better TV audience than Cleveland." They're not going to say that, but I guarantee they do say, "Make sure you referee tight, referee the way it should be," because I feel that the NBA is getting a lot of criticism for the flopping, and they don't want that. They don't want that. This is exactly what they want. These are the two series that. Well, it's funny. I thought they would have wanted the Detroit, New York one, but either way,
Or
this is
Boston, New York.
yeah, Boston, New York would have been great too. Uh, this is what they want. But they got Oklahoma City and San Antonio. That's what they wanted. That's going to go 7 games. I'm going to root for the Spurs because I don't want. I'm done with OKC. I want them
But
gone.
if you're looking at that, Brian, you're thinking it's going to go 7. I don't know that the Spurs are deep enough. Like OKC can play, 10, 11 guys. And
Yeah,
I
I know.
wonder if that's going to play itself into the series where, okay, game 1, yep, you got us. If OKC takes game 2, then it's going to be a battle because I think they're just deeper. They have more players. They have more experience in the
I
situation.
agree with you. I agree with you.
But if Wemby's going to be this locked in, it was just like he was like, "You're not stopping me." It's just he went in with the
I didn't
mentality like,
realize how much he hates Chet Holmgren too.
Yeah,
yeah,
why does he hate Chet Holmgren?
He
I
hates him.
don't know, but I heard the same thing before the game. Did you see what Holmgren did to him during the game?
Yeah.
No.
Where he stepped on his. So they were inside. Somebody was shooting free throws. I forget who it was, and on the second free throw, Chet Holmgren steps on Wembanyama's foot before he can go to try to stop him from jumping in the air.
Ooh.
So, and I think Chet's gone after him a couple times, and people are saying he's trying to hurt him because he can't play against him. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why they don't like each other.
Yeah, I was watching. 'Cause SGA got the MVP again, right? And I think that's what Wemby is kind of hyped up again. It's almost like when Karl Malone got it over Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan said, he used it as his way to be hyped up in the series. But SGA got his whole team all these presents, right? Have you seen that video?
Watches and trench coats.
Trench coats. They were all wearing trench coats, and then Holmgren puts on his, and it goes to his waist. Like everybody else gets these. What he puts it on, it doesn't even fit him right. He looks so stupid with it on. Yeah, they got watches. They got all these other TVs, iPhones, iPads. I don't know what they got. They got all these crazy electronics, all this stuff. And then SGA goes, "Yeah, all my sponsors got this stuff for you guys." And he didn't even pay for it. I thought he paid for it, and I was like, "No, all the sponsors."
Nobody ever pays for anything they
Yeah,
give away,
yeah,
Brian.
yeah. I know. But it was pretty funny. You had 12 guys all wearing trench coats. Very interesting, very interesting. But that was fun. That was a cool thing. Again, that was cool of him to do. I really liked that he did that, and I do like the guy. But the flopping, he reminds me of Harden. Harden was
So
doing this. I just can't stand that part of basketball.
here's the list of what they got. They got watches. They got trench coats, Burberry trench coats, golf bags, and a set of golf clubs. Custom Levi Canadian tuxedo,
What?
cologne, iPhone 17,
Okay, that's what I saw them get. Yeah.
Don Julio 1942, and Spotify premium membership.
Spotify premium membership.
Yeah.
It's like $20 a month.
Yeah. Ooh.
Hey, now it's free.
Well, if you're the 12th guy on the bench, I mean, this is great, right? Because you don't have the money like these other guys have.
Oh, he's got the money. What is it? I don't even know. What does a 12th guy make?
I don't even know.
Making at least $2 million a year. Gotta be. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right about that. You're right. You're probably right. I just
Hey,
saw
Brian.
that. I was looking at some of the WNBA salaries and some of the ones who got like $1 million and they're like they're starting to make money now. But it's a very weird way that they did that. They based it on longevity and stuff, and not who's good. And like Kelsey Plum decided to take 999,999, so she was under $1 million for a tax break, but in California. But that's not really how it works. So somebody gave her some bad advice. It's amazing the stupidity of some people, some athletes nowadays. With, just take what you can get, and because you know why, you might not get it the next year. You might get hurt. You might start being bad. You got to take all the money you can and then invest it. But they don't do that. They take it and they go buy trench coats and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Hey, speaking of stupidity and going back to Wemby feeling slighted in this MVP voting, how did he only get 5 first place votes for
Yeah, I
MVP?
know.
And
That's shocking.
I mean, the numbers are kind of astronomical.
How many did he miss? A lot of
Well,
games this
he
year?
missed a lot of games, right? Or no? No, that was last year.
I think it was last year. Yeah, look, he was eligible. I mean, but he only got 5. So SGA got 83 first place votes. Jokic got 10, and then Wemby got 5, and then there were 2 other votes. Cade Cunningham got the last 2 votes. But I'm just surprised that out of 100 first place votes, that Wemby only got 5. Like
I just can't
being
believe.
so
I just can't
great
believe. I couldn't believe Brunson
defensively
got
as well.
0. I thought Brunson deserved at least a couple.
Yeah, he got nothing. I mean, Donovan Mitchell got one vote, and Kawhi Leonard got 1 vote. But I'm just shocked at the numbers. I mean, look, SGA had a great season, right? He scored 31 points a game. But I mean, Wemby was like 25 points a game, 11 and a half rebounds a game, 3 assists, 3 blocks, and this is all in just 29 minutes a game. I mean, to me, those are great statistics, and more. I'm not going to argue whether SGA should have been MVP or not, but only 5 first place votes. To me, it just sounds shocking that so few of these voters thought that he was the best player, most valuable player in NBA this year. Surprising.
I think if they could redo their vote right now, they might change it because, I mean, he was unreal. He was on a different planet. But
It was incredible.
can he keep that up for 7 games? Like
He
Alex
did
said,
play a
that's
ton of minutes too. Yeah, I'm curious to see how he responds because he played, I think, 49 minutes. But yeah, to me, I was just watching that game and just it didn't seem like you were watching a human playing. It was almost like a video game. All the things he was doing. In the second overtime, Stephon Castle at one point just kind of throws this lob up because they had Alex Caruso guarding him for some reason in the post, and Wemby had his back to the basket. Castle throws this lob up, and Wemby just kind of catches it and like flips it over his head.
Caruso had a good game too. Caruso had a good game.
He had a lot of points.
Caruso had a huge game, yeah.
Yeah, which is shocking. You think about it, right? Like what they traded for that guy, it was a free agent. I mean, it's amazing.
He was a free agent, yeah.
It's amazing where he's come a long way. I don't know. I'm very bullish on them. I think they could beat. I think that this is the right time to beat Oklahoma City. I don't know, but the next game again, just like that, tonight's game will make a big difference. Now, here's my big question, guys, as we round this out. There's 4 teams left. Let's look at all the scenarios. Let's start out with, let's just say Cleveland wins. Do they have a chance against any of these other 2 teams?
No.
No.
No way.
Okay.
No.
Okay, here you go. Okay. So if the Knicks win, which we think they will, but I don't want to get my hope up. If the Knicks win, who is a better matchup for the Knicks?
Spurs.
Really?
Yeah, they beat him in the. They already won the cup over them.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
They won the cup, baby.
I didn't even remember that. If I were quizzed on who played in the Cup final, I would not have.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would have
Spurs, Knicks, and Knicks.
Remember they decided not to put up the banner.
Good move.
It is a good move, but yeah, I don't know if they could. Do you think 7 games they could beat them?
I think the Thunder are it would be new territory for them, new territory for the Knicks. OKC was just there last year. They kind of would know what they needed to get through it. I think OKC has more players. Then one of the strengths of the Knicks is their bench. They can bring in 4 guys off the bench, and OKC can do the same thing. So I think the better matchup for the Knicks is the Spurs. And,
I think
Mitchell
the
Robinson
home field
would just dominate Wemby.
I really feel that San Antonio would have a tough time playing in New York. That is true. That might be a tough one for them. Now, they don't have much of a Oklahoma City, San Antonio. There's not much of a travel required for that series, right? That's a pretty quick jump.
I think they just ride horses between each
they ride
game.
horses. Cattle. They do a cattle drive. They go in between. But I mean, but it's not really like that's a big thing with sports. Like having to go across the country to play a series, it's tough on you. It's tough. We know this from business travel. It was tough on us, not let alone playing a sport. So like Alex used to like to, hey, let's go to Louisville. Let's take the 6 o'clock in the morning flight, and we'll go right to a meeting. Like oh, I could never figure out how you could do that and be awake. But I mean, that was just not me.
Lots of cocaine.
Yeah,
Whoa.
no, but but do you think about this, like flying across the country, either direction, right? And then having to get ready to play a sporting event. It's tough on your body. I don't care how good of an athlete you are. It is tough.
I think football is probably the hardest for that, just because the schedule is set so much for them. I mean, there's so many players you have to deal with, and it's not like you're just dealing with 12 guys, right? There's 50 some odd guys you have to deal with, and the schedule is just so set. And then like, who is it? The 49ers this year are like traveling like some ridiculous amount of miles. I think like 4 times as many as like the Carolina Panthers, which just seems ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know how they do it. Like,
So
especially
that's another thing too. So they'd have to deal with traveling. Now the Knicks have been used to traveling. Philly was an easy one, but going to Cleveland's not an easy trip. It's a flight. You got to go
it's
deal
a
with
flight.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either of those teams are going to have to fly into New York, so that'll be a tough thing. I think the Garden is going to be rocking. They'll have to be able to deal with that. But again, yeah, I think I would probably rather play the Spurs. I just don't. If again, it might work in our favor too because the Spurs, I mean, might get tired out by OKC if they beat them. Either team is going to get beaten down, right? So they're going to be tired after that series. Then they're going to come and have to play the Knicks, who I think could coast in this. Who knows right now? What if the Knicks go sweeping 4 and then they sit around for another week? I mean, that might be a good thing. It might be a good thing, guys.
Yeah.
I was worried that they were going to have a letdown yesterday, and they did. For the second and third quarter, they looked like a rusty team. Yeah, this is great stuff, though. I'm really excited about watching all these games. This is
Mike, you hit the nail on the head. 12th man is the minimum salary for 1 year experience is $2 million.
Yeah, there you go. Not a bad living.
Salary.
Nah, never play, hang out,
Practice, travel, pick up the leftover groupies.
Yeah, the leftover. Oh, you only make $2 million.
Bum.
That is amazing, though. So that basically these. So who's the lead, who's the lowest guy on the Knicks? Hack Tui, or who's that other?
Huck 40.
Yeah.
I mean, what's his name too?
Tyler
Kolek.
Kolek. Yeah.
They're making $2 million.
Kevin Knox, is he still there?
No,
Nah, man.
no.
He's somebody else's mistake.
I don't know.
Well, believe me, he played a year for the Warriors. I couldn't believe that we got him. Yeah, I think a lot of people saw that promise in the guy, but he just couldn't deliver. He had the skills. He just didn't have the wherewithal to play in the NBA. I mean,
Well, John Calipari talked him up like he was the greatest player ever.
yeah, I know.
I remember he was on the
He
fan
does.
like, oh, you guys got a player there. I talked to them and told them he's the best this, the best that. He's terrible. Well, what can you do?
I could tell right, like the first. I remember that the first or second game he played, we were like, "What is this guy? Who is he? What a bum!"
Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad. But anyway, so that's
I
cool.
think he's still in the league.
He was last year. I don't know where he was, on a bench somewhere. Now he's
Not on the Warriors?
No, he was not on the Warriors. That was like the year before last. But anyway,
No, he 24-25. He was on the
Okay.
Warriors. He didn't play anymore this year.
so any other real sporting event right now that we're looking forward to? I know World Cup's coming. It's not here yet. Anything else happened this week?
Brian, you got to tell us what's going on in the NHL. I was a Montreal Canadiens fan as a kid,
Yeah, I was rooting for the Sabres.
and I saw
I was bummed. That was an amazing game too. That last game in overtime, it was amazing. Except for the Sabres lost. I was rooting for the Sabres because Stockfish.
That was another series.
Sabre fan. Yeah, I wanted to. I was going to the Stanley Cup if they made it. I was going to go with them to Buffalo to see the game, but obviously it didn't happen. So, but yeah, great again, both teams are playing great, and now you have Las Vegas and Colorado. Colorado's really good. I feel Colorado's going to win the whole thing. That's my opinion. I
That's
don't
your
want them
pick.
to.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my pick right now. I
So
don't want them to. I would like to see. I'd like to see Montreal. I mean, it would be cool to see one of these older teams.
Who's in the East? Carolina and Montreal.
Yeah,
yeah. Carolina's 8-0 in the playoffs.
Yeah,
They've
they're
been
really
sitting around
good.
for weeks. Are they really good?
They're
Yeah.
good. They're really good too.
Yeah.
They're
Okay.
really good too.
Now,
But Montreal could beat them. Montreal could beat them.
now,
Montreal's hot.
if Montreal plays Colorado in the Stanley Cup Finals, that will be the Montreal Canadiens playing against the old Quebec Nordiques. Aren't the Avalanche the Nordiques?
Yes.
There you go. Old rivalry from the province of Quebec could
There
be
you go. There you go.
And-
Colorado and Montreal.
And Raw won cups with both of them, right?
Correct. Yeah, there you go. Exactly right. So a lot of history if you get Colorado and Montreal playing. But so Bryan,
Well, it's good. Again, here's another thing too. It's very good for the NHL to have Montreal be good, right? Because they haven't been for a while, and that's their the Yankees of that sport. They're that good. They're that important to the league, and it's also good because having a good Canadian team doesn't always happen, and this is a really good thing. So I really feel good for the sport. Las Vegas is actually pretty good. They're darn good, but I like Colorado is really really good. They're just a machine right now. So
But wasn't Vegas like cheating with the whole roster thing last year? Like they had some guy in injured reserve, and
they
brought him
kept
back
him
or
in,
something.
and they brought him
didn't
back
count
into
against
the
the
playoff
cap.
roster. They brought him
Yeah.
back with the playoff roster rules. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they do that. They're Vegas. They have to they have to gamble and do that.
that's true.
But yeah, that's another thing. I'm not a big fan of that team.
Have
But
they won a Stanley Cup, the Knights?
yeah, they have. I think
In their first season, they made it to the finals. Like
I know.
the Toronto Maple Leafs have not won since 1940 something.
No, but they made and the league had some weird rules about this dispersal
Expansion
draft.
years.
Yeah, and they got way better players than they should have got.
They got that goalie Fleury, right, from the Penguins.
You got to pretty much pick from. I think you only got to keep your top 5 guys or 6 guys the first round. Then you could save some more afterwards. So they got hey, they had the chance of the 6th best person on many teams, and then they got a lot of them. So you had a whole team of guys who were decent, and that was very interesting. I didn't like the way they did that draft. It's almost like they wanted them to do well.
Yeah, they won the division and they got to the Stanley Cup Finals for an expansion team. I mean, the Mets were an expansion. They won 50 games their first year.
Yeah, but I think that's what they were trying not to happen is these expansion teams come in and they have no chance of winning for the first 5 or 6 or 7 years.
Like the Montreal Expos. I remember when the Expos and with the Mariners, they were called the Pilots at that time. These guys, we could have gotten the guys in the neighborhood to play them and beat them. They had some terrible players on those teams. They would just get slaughtered. Or the original Mets, right? The original Mets were just terrible. It's amazing. That's how they used to do it, though. They would say, "Hey, guess what? You got to suffer. You're coming in. You got to suffer for a couple of years."
Yeah, and I think the people buying the teams now, they're paying so much money. They're like, "Hey, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to stink for 10 years."
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So Alex, how was you went to the game recently? Didn't you go to a Yankee game recently?
Yes.
How was that?
Yes. It was great. We sat in down the third baseline, almost to the outfield. Great game, great section. We were in section 131, I think, and really good section. Good food right there, bathrooms right there, everything. It was really good seats, and the game was great. They played Baltimore.
That's
and
awesome.
My whole family went, and girlfriends included, and we had a good time.
You brought your girlfriend? Wait, what did you say? Wait, hold on. Your wife doesn't listen to this podcast, does she? You said you brought your girlfriend?
No.
Okay.
My boy's girlfriend.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Friday night's game, which could be Cole's return.
What's the weather supposed to be like?
Well, we're going to be in a box. We're going to be in a box. I haven't been in a box in the new Yankee Stadium yet, so.
Oh, that's awesome.
I won a raffle. Yeah, I won a raffle, and so I'm going to.
A work thing?
Yep. And
that's cool.
Yeah, so I'm bringing my brother.
Who are they playing?
Tampa Bay.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
great.
good
And
game.
Cole
That's
might
a
be
good,
playing.
really good game.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's
we're looking forward to that. So that'll be.
Well, I haven't been to the new Yankee Stadium
I
still.
don't like it as much as the old, but it's
No.
still fun.
Does
So
it
you know, I
does
mean,
it
it's a
have
great, you know.
does it have like a lot of atmosphere? Because the old stadium just
No,
had this aura, kind of like how
it's
Madison
not. It
Square
doesn't
Day.
have that atmosphere. Like the, you know, I
Yeah,
was
but the seats
Monument
are
Park was
better.
nice.
I mean,
Oh yeah, the seats are better. The
all
food's
the
better.
amenities are
Yeah,
way
the
better in the
bathrooms
new
are better.
stadium.
The food's better. Everything else is
Yeah,
better. Yeah, you're right.
yeah,
No, you're right. The
right.
boards, the outfield's got some great. You know, in the outfield they have like these like verandas you can go out there and hang out and look. Oh, it's really cool, but it's just not doesn't have that aura. But again, like Alex says, like that old stadium, like the bathrooms were like so horrible, and it was just it was
And the
even
seats
the hallways are cramped.
Yes, I
Yeah,
remember that. The old.
and the
yeah,
seats were so tight for the seats in front of you and
yes,
behind you,
yes,
like
yes.
getting it was bad.
Yeah. So I mean, again, it'll be fun. You know, I have to tell you though, and this is horrible for me saying this. I think I like Citi Field better than I like Yankee Stadium, but it's sad. But it is a better park. Now I still say Camden Yards beats them all. Um, the Pittsburgh Pirates Park. I have to tell you that I was so impressed with that place, especially the
Yeah, well,
food.
there's nobody there,
I
so it's
know. And
easy
then
to get.
the Royal Stadium is really nice too. The Royal Stadium is beautiful too. It's different. You know, it's very different compared to the other ones. But I like Camden Yards. That's my favorite. That's my favorite park. I just everything I like to see in a park they have there, and it's an enjoyable time. I just to me that's my favorite. Again, I'm not an Oriole fan at all. I'm a Yankee fan, but I like that park. I like just like the whole atmosphere. I like the but as the town of Baltimore gets to be more and more dangerous, it's probably not a great place to go as much.
The one downside at Yankee Stadium was they play music between like every pitch.
Interesting. I
You'll
don't remember
notice that, Brian.
Okay.
It's like a
And it's
roller
like,
skating rink or something. That's weird.
yeah, it's like it's crazy. I don't know why they do it, but
Last
think
year I
they're
went to a
like,
game with my daughters, and it must have been 110 degrees that day. I'll never forget. We had great seats. We were in the second deck, but we were the first row of the second deck, and we had great seats. And when I tell you, the sun was beating on us, and they're like, "Hey, Dad, can we go buy hats?" Like, yeah, go buy hats. And they're so expensive to buy at the stadium too, right? So they had to go buy hats.
out front, $10.
Yeah, I know, but now we didn't think about
You
that.
didn't know.
We went inside and they do, but yeah. So again, we're sitting in the box. We'll see how that goes. That'll be very interesting. It's
Oh, the
supposed to be
girls
cold.
going
Nope, just me and Jeff. Yeah, I only got 2 tickets.
too.
That's why I didn't want to have to pick between the daughters. So I get my brother to go. And he doesn't get to do anything, so it's for him. It was great for him to be able to go. So we're going to do that. So anyway, okay, guys,
All right.
have a wonderful holiday weekend. It's Memorial Day on the East Coast for you guys that celebrate. People in Canada had their Memorial Day last weekend, but for us here and anybody and all of our fans in like other countries, I don't think you have Memorial Day, but just so you know, we
They
do
have a form of it.
and we will have a 3-day weekend. So it's supposed to be rainy and cold all weekend. So it won't be a lot of fun. Definitely won't be a lot of fun. Okay, have a great day, everybody.
Go Knicks.
This is Tom Carvel. Thank you for listening to 3 the Hard Way Sports Podcast. Remember to get a Fudgy the Whale or Cookie Puss for the next time you're sitting down to watch the big game.